So I build electric guitars, and when I'm not doing that, I'm doing band stuff or listing stuff on eBay. I don't really have any spare time to earn any extra pocket money. So I figured I'd just Truman Show myself and pimp out my privacy.
Oh, come on in.
This is Last Chance Arcade.
Oh, come on in. Got him.
Good morning. Hey, it's Tuesday. It's... What did I say it was going to be? Taco Tuesday? No. TCG Tuesday. So, for those of you who don't know, TCG stands for Trading Card Games. It's something that I've been quite passionate about since I was very small. In fact, the origin story is quite interesting. I'm pretty sure we had one of the first Pokemon cards in the UK when I was in year 4, making me about, oh god, 6 or 7-ish. We had pen pals in America, and a kid in our class got his letter back from his pen pal, and it had I want to say a Charmeleon, was it a Charmander or a Charmeleon? It was one of the two, like, in the letter. And we got it, and we was just amazed. It was like, what is this thing? Is it an animal? Is it a creature? What is this thing? And we was just amazed. We'd just draw it. Me and the kid who got it would just obsess over it until
Calm down.
that fateful day when Pokemon came to the UK. We got it on the TV. We got it.
No, not
We
pushed.
got it in the shops. And I remember being just a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, really good,
walking
thanks,
with a
man.
kid
How are
from
you?
down the street down to London's toy shop, which is not in London, and bought my first ever booster pack. And this might seem like a load of bullshit, but I promise you it's not. Got Charizard in my first pack. Opened it up, Charizard. I was like, ooh, that's shiny, that's nice. And none of us knew what it was or if it was a special card. We knew there were shinies. We knew shinies were cool, but we didn't realise the astounding differences between them. So I picked up this Charizard, and the kid from down the street was like, I'll swap it with you for a fishing rod. And I'm not talking the card fishing rod. I'm talking a real life fishing rod. And I was like, that's a deal, right? Like a little tiny bit of cardboard for an actual fishing rod. That could supply me with years of entertainment. Whereas this cardboard, who knows? I can draw it a few times. Whatever. I made the trade. I got the fishing rod. Imagine if I'd have kept that and left it in a box for all these years. That would have been, well, if you don't know much about trading card games, if you were to get first of all, we'll go into what PSA is and what grading is. So nowadays, people grade their cards and get them kind of authenticated to see if they're higher the grade, the more they're worth, the better condition they're in, etc., etc. So if I was to have kept that card in mint condition from then till now, providing the centering was good, I could have been sat on, well, put it this way, there's one on eBay at the moment for 260 grand. I've just had a little search to see if I could find like the last sold one, and there wasn't a last sold one. Like there's another one for sale here, and it's a grade 8, and that's 40 grand. That's like life-changing money. That's unreal. But
You can have it.
however, when I was a little bit older, when I got ill, and I said I spent my money on some stuff, I actually bought a Japanese base set Charizard, and it cost me like 15 quid back in 2015 or whenever it was. And I actually dug it out of my collection recently and went and had a little peek. And it was amazing. It was in such good condition. So I sent it off to get graded. I sent it to Ace Grading, which is like the UK's kind of premium grading service. I would have sent it to PSA because PSA get a much like higher value when they're graded. But the drummer in our band sent the Gyarados off to PSA, and he paid for the like express service where it's supposed to be like a 15-day turnaround or whatever it is. It took him 8 months to get back. And I was like, yeah, I'm not waiting for that. Plus, if it's valued quite high, PSA will then charge you extra because, you know, it takes the exact same amount of work, but they get more money if they charge you extra. Not to mention all the scandals where people have sent them cards and they've destroyed them, made them absolutely worthless. People have sent them cards to get graded and they've been graded a 9, which in the community it might as well be a raw card if it's a 9. And they offer a buyback programs that are like, oh, it's only got a 9, we'll buy it off you for, you know, however much it's worth. And then they do it, and then they regrade it, and then they sell it for 10 times as much. And they've just got a monopoly on the market, so kind of fuck PSA. And I sent it to Ace, and I was like, you know, it was in a picture frame for a while, so it's probably a bit sun damaged. I was really hoping for like a 7 or an 8 at a push. I sent that off, and I sent a Dark Charizard first edition, which would have been worth a few £100 if that got a good grade. Spoiler alert, it did not get a good grade. It got a 1. The Dark Charizard got a 1. I've got a video on my Instagram. I need to update the Instagram. I've got a shitty AI profile picture. But it got a 1. I can't believe it. So hopefully that'll be worth more than a 2 or a 3, because I think there's a community of collectors that just collect 1s. But the actual Charizard, the main event, the Japanese first edition 1996 base set Charizard, it came back a 9. I was absolutely outstanding. I was over the moon. Like, I wasn't expecting that. So straight off the bat, that's a PSA 9's like 2.5 to 3 grand. So I was like, yeah, that's, you know what I'll do. I'm going to list it on eBay for the same price as PSA, because the amount of lawsuits that they're getting at the moment, they're gonna go down, surely. I know they've got a monopoly on the whole game, but maybe people kind of open their eyes and realise Ace is just as good, hopefully. I don't know if that's the case, but it was a 9. So I listed it for 2.7k, and within 15 seconds I got a message off someone, will you take £1,500 for it? And I'm like, I really need that money, but if I can get another grand, holy shit, that can turn my whole life around. So I listed it at that. It didn't really go anywhere. I knocked it down. I've knocked it down again. It's currently sitting at 2.2, so I'm selling it for 2,200. I got a message about it this morning, actually, so hopefully that might lead to a humble sale, because as soon as that gets sold, I'm getting a laptop, and I can make these videos a lot better. Either way, that's a big tangent about a Charizard, but like I said at the beginning, very passionate about trading card games. Played Pokemon in school and primary school, played Yu-Gi-Oh heavily in secondary school, and then when we left secondary school, you know, I thought I was a grown-up, so I started playing Magic the Gathering like a tough guy. Never really tickled my pickle the same way as the other two did, to be honest. But I got a load of cards. I've been selling them on eBay recently. I've sold quite a few, which is astounding. I didn't think 2015 cards would go that well for Magic the Gathering. But there you go. And now I'm collecting One Piece cards. So how about that? So I guess I'll leave you with a little quote from me today. So I'm just going to say, if Logan Paul can sell an illustrated Pikachu for 16.5 million, surely I can sell a Charizard for 0.01% of that. Surely.